There it goes.
Thank you.
So I kept hitting the
I
up.
needed that today.
I was hitting the. It's great. It builds enough speed to get you into trouble, but not so much to take you to like federal prison. You know, this is how the magic is made, Dave. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Driven Dave YouTube channel. Today we've got Driven Daves. This is my buddy Dave.
Dave squared.
Yeah, we got double Daves here, and Dave was nice enough to bring out this yellow thing. It's like pull me over yellow. It really looks good on the freeway. This is a 2004 Mazda RX8, and this is a really cool car. This is a love it or hate it kind of car. I've always loved these. I know the internet is divided on Wankels and Renesis rotary engines, but I've always thought these are pretty cool. And I've never actually gotten my hands on one. I remember when these came out, of course, the RX7 was legendary, and then I think there was about, what, a 10-year gap? And then they came out with the RX8, and this was a really revolutionary design. Particularly, I remember it had really good weight distribution.
50-50.
50-50, yeah. And a three-door design, so you've got that.
Four.
Four?
Yeah.
What do you mean four?
It's a four-door.
Four-door?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm learning. Oh, is it the same on both sides?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Yes, but it's got this neat little, whatever you call this door.
You're going to want to be really short if you sit back
Yeah,
here.
I mean, it's more, maybe it was Doug DeMuro's video, and he was kind of talking about how it's really a three-seater. It's like the driver and then two people. Yeah. So there is that to consider. And now my buddy Dave here, now you inherited this car. Is that
I did.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. My cousin Don Pangborn had it. It was known as the Sunshine Car.
Wow. And, you know, and the funny thing you say, I mean, of course, it's got the sunshine yellow, right. But I mean, it almost kind of looks like it's got a little smile.
Yeah.
And I noticed that.
Pikachu.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a happy little car. I mean, I love it. Now, judging by the, shall we say, atmospheric modifications to the car, a little bit of weight reduction in the back.
Yeah.
I'm guessing this was from out east? Or?
Michigan. Yeah.
Okay, it's from Michigan.
Yeah.
So you will notice it's a beautiful car and the paint is in really good shape. And there's some Michigan mods here,
yeah.
Which I think is pretty unavoidable in that. And that's on both sides, right, Dave?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but you know what? I was just telling Dave, a little Craigslist rebuild, it's going to buff right out. It's going to be great. So here's
This is funny. You should know this. This is a spare tire. Is an option.
Oh.
It comes without it. You have to actually request it.
Oh my goodness.
So it came with a spare tire gel kit, whatever, fix a flat kit. So yeah.
That's wild.
So there's some weight reduction there if you just want to take it right out.
Yeah, sure.
And you better have good roadside assistance.
Yeah. And you know, one thing I saw in another video about one of these cars is that it's like this opening is, you know, for scale, there you go. It's not very big this way, but there is a lot of room in the trunk, you know, so that's kind of interesting.
Good for golf clubs.
Good for golf clubs. And I guess that was because they really wanted to get that four-door thing happening. Yeah. And some back seat room, which, you know, I mean, in hindsight, it's like, maybe they should have just made it a coupe, but anyway, if you got, you know, a very small child, you can sneak them in the back there.
Right.
Now this particular one, this is the first year of the RX8, and so this one has the automatic. And I was doing a little research before our video, Dave. So I guess like the stick shifts had like 238 horsepower.
That's about right.
And then the automatics, I think, have like 190.
Not that little. Maybe like 212 or. Really? Yeah, 211.
Okay.
It really depends on kind of how old the engine is.
Yeah, sure.
How much compression it's getting.
I mean, but I heard that number went up in later years, like the 06.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But I think.
You might be right then with the 04.
Yeah, I heard 04, 05 had lower horsepower numbers.
Takes a while to spool up.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, I don't mean that as a criticism. It's just how it is.
Yep.
And so there are some interesting design elements with this car. You'll notice actually a lot of kind of the shape of the rotor, like it's built into the little hood scoop here, or that's not even a bulge, but you know what I mean. And you can see the seats right there. That's like the shape of the rotor. And it looks like we're going to open up the power barn here and take a look at the Renesis, or at least all the plastic covers.
Right.
The multi-side port rotary engine here, originally invented by Wankel. And yeah, I mean, there's just not much to see.
No, there's
but
not.
there is.
There's not.
Oh, wow. And this is what, a 1.3 liter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
There's 2 rotors in there.
wow. And and that's actually quite a lot of horsepower for 1.3 liters.
Right.
Wow, a Kia Optima just, oh my gosh. Okay, well, you go. Go far away from here, please. How many miles do you have on this unit?
95,000.
95,000. I mean, and really, Dave, it is a really nice, clean car. It's too bad the Michigan winter got to her.
Right.
But I mean, it looks great.
Sand and salt.
Yeah, that's just the name of the game. But the interior is beautiful. Do you mind if I show a little bit of that?
Feel free.
So it looks like we got some leather seats going on. Very kind of sporty, focused interior. Yeah, I think it was Doug DeMuro's video. He just talked about how many circles there were, circles,
right.
circle,
Everything about
circle.
rotary.
Yeah, it's all rotary, it's all circle. Again, we've got this, the shape of the rotor there. It's just kind of like,
The design elements go all the way through.
yeah, it's kind of like the hidden Mickeys at Disneyland, You got the hidden rotors all over this bad boy. So really cool. And then, of course, it's got this unique, wow, that's cool. I like the way the door feels. Like, that's really, really pretty neat. And yeah, I'm not getting back there.
No way.
No, sir. But nice looking seats. Cool little center console in the back. That's neat. And yeah, snazzy. And of course, it's got a sunroof, as did all of the luxurious cars of yesteryear.
I've caught myself several times when I'm driving. I catch myself smiling because
Yeah.
it's like it just brings joy to you. You're like one with the road. You can really feel every curve. And people must look at me and wonder, what's that guy smiling about? It's just super fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And and for the record, Dave has been a car guy for a long time. When I first met him, he had a Civic with quite a few mods.
Right.
But in the past, I don't know, 7-8 years, you've driven more kind of
The mom and dad.
yeah, just
I've got a CRV, HRV.
yes, good,
So
very good.
It's good to be back on something that.
Yeah, very good cars, of course, and no disrespect to those cars.
Right.
But I think it would be fair to say a little ho hum.
My wife's CRV has a turbo that will.
Oh, okay.
Will,
So maybe not completely ho hum.
yeah.
But,
No, it's actually kind of fun.
but not sporty,
Right.
sporty focus. So
Right.
Right. It is really, it's fun to get back into a sports car after you've kind of not had a sports car for a while.
Right.
And I know that feeling.
Oh, four-cylinder, it takes a long time before you're doing 115.
Yeah.
This, you just breathe on the gas and you're there. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
it is pretty fun.
Well, cool. Well, why don't we take it for a spin?
Here you go.
Ooh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, is it okay if I move the seat back a little
Sure,
bit?
make yourself at home.
All right. So even though I might fit, I probably won't. Curious to see what wow, it's surprisingly spacious for a gentleman of my stature. And I see it's got the shift it yourself gears if you choose. No backup camera. You got a head, don't you?
Yep.
All right. Move my mic a little bit. And I'm thinking, Dave, for our next video, we do RX8 driver tries a Tesla for the first time.
Cool.
So. All right.
Got paddle shifters if you want them.
Oh, that's cool. I'll probably just keep it in auto mode for a little bit here. so I get my bearings.
Sure.
But is it okay if I get on her a little bit?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Oh, there we go. You see, you start getting into the power a little bit higher in the revs, am I right?
Yes.
So like from here. Yeah.
A red line a day keeps the mechanic away.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know, in one of the videos I saw, like this guy was saying, he's like, you know, these engines like to be run to red line, you know, and they work better when you do that. I was like, whoa, okay.
So put it in manual mode and try it in like a second.
Okay, so there we go. I'll slow down just a touch. There we go. Yeah. You know, it reminds me, I mean, of course, the feeling of power delivery is a lot different than like, yeah, I was thinking like, it kind of reminds me of like the MX-5, you know, just in like the sitting, it's like roomier than the Miata, but it's got some of the same DNA. Like you definitely feel that, the Mazda sports car DNA. And it sure does handle well. The brakes are quite responsive.
And a four-wheel disc.
Now, Dave and I were talking, and one of the, so there are a couple of, let's say, commitments that one makes when owning one of these. One of those commitments is gas mileage. So if you wouldn't mind sharing with our friends.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be a fan of good gas mileage if you're driving a Mazda.
Yeah.
This is about stepping on it and having some fun and taking it down the twisties.
So you told me you get about 14?
Oh, that's on a good week, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, small displacement, high horsepower for the size.
Well, the combustion in the Rotary is not great.
Right.
And so I think you lose a little bit of that unless you're running aftermarket ignition system, you know, high-end spark plug wires, and making sure that your combustion is really great.
I see. So you have to kind of go nuts.
Yep. With the first generation RX8s, there was only 2 oil injection ports inside the combustion chamber, and that's to lubricate the apex seals. In the later generations, they had 3, and so part of that is you have to pre-mix, which means at the pump you can put in some oil with your gas to help the lubrication during the combustion cycle.
Really?
Some people don't always do that. There's sort of two schools of thought on that. I pre-mix with Idemitsu oil from Mazda Tricks. It's supposed to give it lots of life, so that's nice.
I don't like all of these children.
Right. Don't hit the kids.
It's just like all of those like driver safety videos where the kid runs out in front of you.
Right,
It's like
right.
that happens.
Sure does.
It's like, so I see kids, I slow way down. And now they're far, far away. Bye, kids.
What do you want me to focus?
I'm just kind of like easing into it.
Well, one of the things you could do, Dave, is run the revs a lot higher. Think of it like a sport bike.
Yeah.
You're not going to really get the torque from what you're expecting from torque
Right.
on an EV is way down low. Or maybe like a throaty Chevrolet or something.
Right.
You'll have a lot of torque in the low end. This is more run it high.
Right.
As close to the red line as you dare. And that's where you're really going to feel the horses kick.
Sure.
It's more just raw horsepower than torque.
Sure. All right. Well, let's wind her up a little bit. There, this is a good spot. Yeah, I see. So you gotta. There she goes. It's like right there. Yeah. I love the exhaust sound.
There's a secondary air pump that kicks in when you get up there.
Really?
And one of the first things I had to replace on this was a solenoid for that the valve to open that. And after I got that solenoid working, it was just like night and day for the performance.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah, it does.
That is great. And the cool thing is, like, once you like upshift, then you're just in a nice GT car.
Right.
You know, it's like, this is a really good cruiser.
Right.
With really good driving dynamics.
Comfy.
And I'm sure with some like freshened suspension, like this thing would be ferocious.
Well, it would be a lot less comfortable as far as a ride is concerned.
Yeah.
Because you'd feel every bump. But then when you're on smooth tarmac, or if you want to take it to the track, or if you get a road like this, which is a very nice road.
There it goes.
Thank you.
I kept hitting the
I
up.
needed that today.
I was hitting the up. There it goes.
I just use this.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sometimes
That's funny. That one doesn't quite want to. Because you heard it click, right?
Yeah, I did.
I hit it like 2 or 3 times before it shifted. So I didn't mean to actually hit red line.
Yeah, I wanted you to.
But that was fun. It's a glorious noise.
Well, you have to hit the red line for a couple reasons. Is to burn off some of the, when you're sitting in traffic and you have the premix in your gas, you can build up some deposits in the engine. So some people call it the Italian tune-up,
Right.
where you
just
redline it and burn out all the gunk. But yeah, my mechanic was also telling me about running before I get home. You know, just maybe running it in 45 to 5,500 RPMs for a few minutes.
Really?
On the freeway. And then that way, when you get home, you don't have to do the whole shutdown sequence. It's already burned out.
Wow.
Because that raises the whole temperature of the combustion chamber.
I see.
To burn out those deposits without redlining. You sometimes run the risk of blowing something electric or otherwise.
Yeah.
So, but red lines are fun.
Seems like she likes to.
Say red lines are fun.
Red lines are fun. I mean, it really does seem like she likes to be in second gear.
Right.
You know, it's
second or
yeah.
Second.
Kind of want to see what she'll do. You know, can we just see what she'll do from
first?
From a dig? You know.
Yeah, sure.
We'll just do a slight roll.
You can burn on it if you want. I don't care.
Okay, power. There's power. There, power. And now she's going. You were right. It does take some time to build the revs. But once you've seen... Yeah, I'm feeling it now. That's great.
And as a passenger, I'm feeling it too.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is great. I just, you know, it's like you kind of have to feel like where the car wants to live. And that's where it lives. Right between like 5 and 7.
Right.
You know, for sure.
So the manual is going to be a little higher because they have a higher red line. Show your audience some of the beautiful views we're getting.
Isn't this great? This is one of my favorite roads. And this actually does connect with Angeles Crest eventually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you can take that all the way up to Lancaster.
I got all afternoon.
I wish I did. That's beautiful. I filmed a video with our buddy Jeremy right back there. With
his Thunderbird?
His Ford Focus,
Ford
actually.
Focus, okay.
And that video, that was one of the first ones on my channel.
Okay.
And that one did strong views. It took a couple of years, but it did a lot of views. And I think it's still doing pretty well on the channel. And that was back in my early days of the channel. And I've featured, I think, most of Jeremy's fleet at this point.
You've had a Vet at one point, right?
I had 2 Corvettes.
So do you see the fenders on this?
Yeah.
That little rise there? It reminds me a little bit of the Vet.
It sure does.
You have that, I've got some wheels up there.
Yeah. Well, and your dad has a Corvette still, right? He has an 07? 08?
08.
Yeah, so he's got the LS3.
Yeah.
Lucky dog.
Yeah.
I always wanted the LS3, but man, it's amazing the price jump to go from an LS2 to an LS3. And for 30 horse, it's just kind of like, that's okay. 400 is enough.
Brembo brakes, and he has the Pace Car Edition.
Yeah, that's
Signed by Emerson Fittipaldi.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn her around here.
Okay.
All right, let's go, baby. Come on. There's the power. It's funny, like, it's like not much happening, and then 5,000, it's like, let's go. Like 5,000 is awesome. But it's fun because you can just kind of like mat it, and it gives you that, like, and I say this with much respect, this is like the slow car fast approach, which I think is way more fun than fast car slow. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's actually plenty of horsepower out in the canyons. You know, you're not going to win any drag races, but, you know, you're going to beat a lot of cars that are just like sliding around.
How's the understeer? Is there any oversteer, understeer?
Well,
are you feeling that?
I'm not pushing it too hard because these tires are a bit old. That's why I checked the date code first.
2017.
Yeah, I want to know how dry they are. And really, I mean, that's not like dangerously old, but you know, it's time. Yeah, the front end feels just a little floaty, so you know, I don't want to push it too hard, but it feels pretty planted, honestly. Yeah, I mean, that feels great.
For our Tremont friends.
The slide area. Wah, wah. That's hilarious. But yeah, this is really cool. How many years did they make this?
04 to 11, maybe?
That many years?
Maybe.
And I guess, like,
your viewers can correct me if I'm wrong.
yeah.
I only care about the 04.
Yeah,
If
well,
you haven't noticed.
It's better if you are wrong because then I'll get more comments.
Hey, there you go.
So it's fine.
Just make sure you put the smiling emoji at the end of all your comments.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, say it with a smile, I won't be mad. But yeah, I mean, I guess like one of the criticisms of the RX8 was that like the RX7 made a lot of horsepower and
insane horsepower.
And I
for
guess
being out of the box.
Yeah, and I
just
think
right out of the stock.
I think people were kind of expecting that out of this, and then they didn't get it. And I think that might be why this wasn't more popular, which is too bad because it's such a good chassis, you know, and it's so fun to drive. Like, it's just like you can really kind of drive it with two fingers, you know. You kind of it just
pinkies up.
Yeah, pinkies up, you know. It's great.
That's how you drink your espresso too.
Yes, yeah, of course. And it is cool, you know. I'm looking more at this, like the circles everywhere, as Doug DeMuro pointed out. Yeah, the circular vents, the circular thing here,
circular Bose audio.
It even has round tires and wheels.
Smarty pants.
All right, here we go. Power. It's great. It builds enough speed to get you into trouble, but not so much to take you to like federal prison. You know?
Lovely.
And like when I had my Corvette out on this road, you know, I was reaching speed, allegedly.
It's triple speed limit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would never do that, but you know, but that car was capable of doing that. So
absolutely,
you know, and that's where, like, I think something like this is just perfect. And you know, in this world of, I mean, you can go buy an electric toaster with 1,000 horsepower now out of the box. It's insane.
Right.
You know, I mean, even my little, you know, cockroach commuter car has over 400 horsepower. And, you know, nobody needs that much. I mean, I like having that much. I want more.
Right.
Now, I always want more power, but...
So you said this is a 198 or 189 or something?
It's 190 something.
Okay.
I want to say it was 191. But...
And look how much fun we're having.
Yeah, I mean... Because really, it's like, once you get her up to like 5,000 RPM, it kind of doesn't matter how fast you're going, you know, is what I'm finding. You know, it's just fun to be up in the revs like that.
Right.
Yeah, like right there. And that sound, God, that's great. That is a hoot. Yeah, what a fun car. So, like, obviously, driving it the way we're driving it, the miles per gallon is going to be quite low. But what if you're just tooling around town? I mean, if you're just, taking her easy.
Yeah, 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it does well.
Yeah.
If you let it.
Right, but it's really hard to let it.
Well, yeah.
I have to say, I've had a really hard time just leaving Angeles National Forest. I've had a really hard time not stepping on the gas because it is so much fun to just, hey, let's go somewhere fun and let's go. Let's not cruise. Let's feel every corner, every bend.
Sure.
Looking for the apex of the turn. Feel the braking points. Here's a pink Camaro.
Yes, that's quite the statement.
Wonder if it has rose petal seat. Oh wait, wrong song. Okay. I think I've got something hanging from the bottom of this car.
But yeah, I mean, like, because yeah, if you're gonna just drive this chill, you might as well just drive the Honda, right?
Yeah. Save your gas.
Yeah, if you're not gonna have any fun.
I will tell you this: that the Honda had a really hard ride. Like, the suspension was not kind to your spine.
Okay.
The seats were not comfortable compared to these. These are leather bucket seats.
Yeah.
They hug you.
You're talking about your Civic,
My
right?
Civic,
Oh, okay.
they felt like cardboard.
Yeah,
board,
well, I mean,
you
that's
know?
a different kind of car. I
Yeah.
mean, that was not.
That's get you to work.
Yeah, that's not a sports car.
Yeah.
That was a commuter car with mods.
Right.
Whereas this, I mean, I really think of this as more of like a GT Cruiser that can also do some canyon duty, or a canyon car that can do some GT cruising.
Well, I have high aspirations to take it to the track
Yeah.
and maybe Chuckwalla or Button Springs or Willow Springs and take it around and see what it does.
Yeah. Why not,
Kind
man?
of fun.
Well, and so earlier we were talking about the commitment of gas mileage.
Oh yeah.
All
Sorry.
right. There was another commitment, and that would be the mileage of the motor.
Oh right.
And you were telling me a little bit about that.
What's it at now? 95.
95,489 miles.
Right. So every 50,000 miles or so, you have to do either an engine replacement or an engine rebuild because of the apex seals.
Oh.
Think of a giant Dorito,
Uh-huh.
and at the tip of each triangle, at the tip of each angle, there's a seal that helps to seal the combustion chamber, and that wears down because of friction.
Right.
And we can rewind and talk about premixing and oil injectors
Right.
again if you want.
Right. Yep. And that's why every 50,000 miles. So,
Well, give or take, but what you don't want to do is wait until it blows and then have to replace it.
I see.
You want to try and do it preemptively so that all you have to do is replace the apex seals.
I see. So, at the
Then
risk.
once you're in there, if you
Right.
find that the housing is worn down and you need a new housing, then you can replace it. I think what too many people are doing is driving their RX8s hard because it's fun.
Right.
It's certainly fun. And then just waiting until it blows and then doing something about it.
I see. That makes sense. Yeah, so it's, and at the risk of breaking the internet and getting all kinds of hateful comments.
We're going to get a ton of
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Well, I told you there's two schools of thought on the premix alone. You're going to have about 100 comments.
Sure. I mean, because I know, like, the Porsche guys talk about the IMS bearings, and what mileage to do those. And so I guess it's, I mean, I'm not saying it's at all the same, but, it's one of those things like.
So what other cars have rotary engines? Do you know?
The Mazda RX8.
Right, there's not a lot. There's,
Yeah.
Some older, there's a Czech Republic car, I think, that has a rotary in it from like way 1960 something, like way back then.
Okay.
It's not a great car, but some people have, like you're saying, modded them up and they race them now. If you look at Goodwood Racing Channel on Facebook, they have a rotary day once a year where they race rotaries around their track.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and there's going to be a 7 Stock, which is a rotary event at Irwindale in, I think, November. So it's an all rotary engine event.
Wow, you have just gone hardcore nerd with this. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you mentioned
It's my hobby now.
you mentioned the Czech car, and which reminds me, like, I have a Polish friend who's a sound guy, and I have a Czech one too.
Oh, do you?
Little dad joke. Yeah. I mean, I laughed.
Yeah, that was fun.
Well, Dave.
You can pipe in the laughter, can't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm the editor. I can do whatever I want.
And,
Go to the end here.
yeah.
Well, Dave, I can't thank you enough for sharing your sunshine car with us.
Yeah.
It's just been a hoot and a holler. Are we recording now?
We are now. Okay.
Okay.
I must have hit something.
Okay. Do you have any social media thing you want to plug or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Well, then thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
There was a shutdown procedure to this.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
Okay, we'll do that. But basically, like, you kind of rev it up, and
But the way you drove it, I don't think we need to do that.
so she's good and hot.
Yep, she's very good and hot. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you. This was
Thanks for having me along.
this was a delight, and I'll try and get this all edited up and put together as soon as I can. As that is always the fun
Is it
part.
hard not having a backup camera?
Well, I mean, I've had lots of cars, and I've had lots of cars with no cameras.
Okay.
So, but being that I drive a Tesla now, it is a little weird.
Hey man, thanks.
All right, well, thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
All my friends out there, stay driven. I'll see you in the next one.